JunaidMuhammad to Ndigbo. Force won't give you presidency in 2023. Israel Nigeria lawmaker in the Second Republic, Dr. JunaidMuhammad, has suggested what he considered the best strategy the people of the Southeast could adopt to lead the country in 2023. He also doubted the possibility of a Ebonyi State Governor, Dave Umahi, who recently dumped PDP for APC, to deliver his state, let alone the entire Igbo nation, to whoever becomes APC candidate in that election. He also called on the removal of security chiefs, among other issues. If you have been following the political trend in the country recently, there have been voices raising as groups from the Southeast are agitating for the possibility of having their son or daughter becoming the president of Nigeria come 2023. What do you think about what Junaid said? First and foremost, my understanding of democracy is not about a postulation of the people who talk about zoning and rotation of democracy. This is because zoning and rotationing is not the only way democratic. There is nothing inherently zonable or rotational when we are talking about democracy. Democracy is at its finest when we talk about freedom of choice by the people. When you believe that power is just going to be rotational, when it means you also believe that power is going to be abused, but it is not my understanding of power in a democratic context. I believe democracy should be for good, to advance development, to help the underprivileged, to ensure all people have the opportunity of life and those growing have the opportunity to rise in education, basic health care, and of course to pursue their legitimate undertakings wherever they are in the country. That is what I mean when I said democracy cannot be disassociated from the rule of law. Anybody who believes in using power to serve his ethnic group, his religion, and his ethnicity is not good for the country. This is another advice given by Junaid. Another thing he talked about was the question given to him, that will it be fair for the North to continue after President Muhammad Buhari? Then he answered and said that when Nigeria was amalgamated in 1914 by Lord Lugard, there were only two components, the North and the South. Whether the British were right or wrong, it's out of point now. The reality on ground is that two areas were put together to lead to the creation, led to the creation of the Federation of Nigeria. Of course, the colonial master who took the decision left the North, which is predominantly began and created two regions in the South, and later the Northern region was also created out of Southwest. But people who are advancing this zoning don't even look at the advantages of this economic reality of the country today. In the past, the country was depending on the natural commodities, where you needed to put in effort till the ground, get the cocoa to grow, get the heat of and the skin, hide and the skin rather, get the granules and other commodity exported and earn foreign exchange, which is good for whatever you will do in return. But when you look at the economy from from after the Civil War, particularly from 1970, you will see that it is oil dominated as against agriculture and mining. He's saying that first and foremost, again, Igbos need Nigeria, but Nigeria does not need Igbos. Chief of Osadebe was an Igbo man who came from the present day of Edo and Delta State. So, if they imagine that they can finance IPOB and Ohaneze to insult and abuse whoever they want to insult, by so doing, by putting a gun on our head and say that it is now their turn to produce the next president of Nigeria, I tell them to go ahead. Let's see who will blink first. He also said the only option to assume power is to persuade people who have a stake in the power. Persuasion is the only way, but you can't think that killing of unfortunate northerners in Umahia, attacking them in Port Harcourt, using IPOB or hide under the NSAS protest to kill people who don't have anything to do with Senagians, or who exercise the power of who gets what you get, what will give you power. No, it won't. In a democratic, the only way is to persuade people to vote for you. But if you think you can do it by force, we will wait and see how it goes. And this is another question thrown to him, saying that Nigerians, especially those in the north, are interested in how to get out of the current security challenges that is hitting us in the face. What do you think can be done? Then he answered and said that first and foremost, do the ordinary thing, which is to change the service chiefs, change the leading generals, change the IGP, change the zonal IGPs, AIGs, and what have you. And make sure that you don't appoint people based on religion, region, or their names. Pick the most component people and then confront the security challenges confronting the country. If you continued keeping people because they are related to you or they are your friends, when they cannot help you to run the country affairs better, it will be difficult, if not impossible, to have improved security that can withstand the test of time. Wow. This is good advice, and this is what has been given to Buhari. Seeing even TB Joshua gave the prophecy that until Buhari changes his service chiefs, Nigeria cannot be better, and that is the same thing Junaid is saying, that change the service chiefs, change the zonal IGs, the AIGs, and what have you, the IGP. Change the generals. If you can change them, it shouldn't be based on families, on religion, on region. This sense shouldn't be based on it. They should protect the lives of people and not, protecting the interest of these people. But what do we have here in Nigeria? Is turning around what the people want, and the president is, good at keeping quiet, or good at not listening to the voices of people, but to do what he wants to do, what he likes, and what he really wants to do. Now look at what he has to say here. He said that if we want to address the problem of this country, we must begin to accept general incompetence of Buhari, his lousy party, and of course the lousy government he put together, which is made up of his relations, a class cascade of nepotism. That is the tragedy of Nigeria today. The majority of people who voted for Buhari came from the north. They voted for him not because they know he was not competent, but because of religion, jingoism, religion sentiment, and other northern phenomena. They voted for him, and he has done nothing for the north. They are now saying they voted for him because he was their son. The majority of what he did was in the southwest. He brought the people of the southwest who are smarter from the north and picked his relations, his in-laws, and of course his cronies and friends. He has not been sensitive as president. One wonders how he managed to go into army and became a general. This is the problem we have unless we remove this idea about religion, region, ethnicity, and what have you. We are not going to have the right people to lead us. Buhari's government has failed and failed woefully, and I am not alone. I'm not the only one saying this. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo was there twice. He has said so publicly. In summary, the only advice from what Junaid is saying that we shouldn't base our election or electing our leaders on ethnicity, on religion, on region. We should base it on competence. Competence is a major key to actualize our goals and dreams. Look at what Buhari, he gave example that the north voted for Buhari, and now he has not done anything for them. They did not gain anything. They have not gained anything from him. Rather, he's appointing his families, his friends, his in-laws into power. What can they deliver? They have nothing to deliver. They have nothing to give to Nigerians. But let's see what you have to say on this news story. Thank you for listening, and I will see you on the news. Bye for now.